I won't sit here and lie to you like I have all the facts in this situation, but I will say that what CNN just did is utterly disgusting as it relates to Donald Trump and this plane crash. People lost their lives, families are affected by this, and I want to make sure I started off by saying my heart goes out to each and every last one of those victims' families.
Mary, I have one more question for you. Look, it's January 29th. We are just 9 days out from a presidential transition, an administrative transition. The FAA administrator resigned at the end of the Biden administration, so there is no permanent confirmed FAA administrator right now. This is going to be a time when there's going to be a lot of public communication, right, and a lot of investigation of what happened here. What do you anticipate this transition period is going to mean for what happens today and tomorrow and in the coming days as we find out what happened here? Mary,
Basically, what they just did was try to blame Donald Trump for this incident. Couch added, those at CNN are absolute scumbags and garbage, immediately trying to blame this horrific crash on President Trump because Biden's FAA head resigned and a new one hasn't been confirmed yet. The Black Hawk was flying dark. Heads should roll at the Pentagon. Now, I watched the video and I will say that there's a level of suspicion that I have as it pertains to this. And we're going to also watch a video showing the route in which the plane was going to further prove my conspiracy theory at the moment. But speaking of theories, Script Keeper Elect actually posted, why did CNN report the plane crash in DC 5 hours before it happened?
So does anyone want to explain how or why CNN was able to report this plane crash 5 and 6 hours before it happened?
Wow.
What? See the timestamp? 10:43 p.m. 5
well,
hours
that falls
before
in lines with the reports that I've seen separate from this. I think it was yesterday or today where they were saying Google manipulates the time in which they break the news stories and stuff like that.
Happened 6 hours before it happened. What? So I'm not military, so I don't really know exactly what this means, but I've heard that the call sign on the helicopter was Pat 25, which I guess means priority air transport. So what was in that helicopter and who was on that plane? Those are my first two questions. Along with, I don't know, this suspicious activity. Something's happening. Once again, red flags left and right.
Yeah, we also have some reports of whom was on a plane, just a few whom we been able to identify was joined on that plane as well. And it's all unfortunate. So the tragic collision occurred on January 29th involving American Airlines jet and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, resulting in no survivors among the 67 people on board. Now we're going to be talking about President Trump, who just signed a memorandum, ordering an investigation into aviation safety and to dismantle DEI policies put in place under Biden.
Second, for your signature, we have a presidential memorandum titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation Safety. In light of the damage done to aviation safety by the Biden administration's DEI and woke policies, what this presidential memorandum orders is for your Secretary of Transportation and FAA administrator, in this case acting FAA administrator, to basically ensure that we are actively undoing all of that damage, that we are assessing how much damage was done, and that we're ensuring that people hired within the FAA, in keeping with your memorandum of January 21st, are only the most outstanding, capable people for the jobs that they're being hired into.
In other words, competence.
Yes, sir. Elevating competence over everything else instead of the DEI policies that were pursued by the Biden administration.
I think everyone understands that.
You would hope.
And Obama.
Yes.
Both of them.
Hold on. What did he say?
And Obama.
Yes.
Both of them. Okay, but Biden much worse. Not even a contest. What they've done is just crazy in so many other ways.
So he's obviously criticizing Obama and the Obama era and the Biden era, which we like to argue is the same. Okay. Now, Trump's remarks have been met with significant pushback. Critics argue that his comments are baseless, especially since the investigation into the crash was still in the preliminary stages at the time of his statements. I chuckle because of what we finna watch next. Some have accused him of politicizing a tragedy, to attack DEI initiatives, which he has been openly critical of since returning to office. I want y'all to watch this. With this question that Ian Wokeness posed, why the hell does it matter what skin color or gender identity our air traffic controllers are?
Brad Mims, Hi, I'm Brad Mims, Deputy Administrator at the Federal Aviation Administration. We are looking for the best and brightest to join us as air traffic controllers.
Oh, are y'all looking for the best and brightest? Because watch what he about to say after that.
We need a diverse group of air traffic controllers to bring distinct perspectives to handle the ever-changing aerospace landscape. I'm calling on students and alumni from HBCUs, Hispanic serving institutions, and tribal colleges to apply now.
Oh, everybody except white people.
To become air traffic controllers. I don't want anyone interested to miss out on this amazing career opportunity. Make sure you complete your full application during our application window. The short application window ends on May 8th. We need a diverse, next-generation air traffic workforce with people from all backgrounds. So apply now.
Now, there's a sentiment echoed by some on X that if DEI policies lead to hiring practices that prioritize diversity over merit in critical safety roles like air traffic control, it could potentially compromise safety. Exactly what we just witnessed. Okay. Now, I don't know who the pilot was just yet and none of that. However, I'll play the beginning again. I want y'all to hear him. Here.
Hi, I'm Brad Mims, Deputy Administrator at the Federal Aviation Administration.
And you heard what he was looking for as requirements. Okay. All right. Now we got this guy right here, also on the side of blaming Trump for this whole situation. Well, I'm sorry. He's disgusted because Donald Trump decided to mention DEI and admit this controversy and this. I'm sorry, y'all. Woo. Today, these last couple of videos, I've been just like, I gotta calm down. My anxiety just like woo. I'm getting too flustered. Gotta calm my thoughts down. But anyhow, this guy Chris Murphy says Trump's press conference today blaming the FAA's hiring of women and black people for the crash was disgusting, which he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
I just watched some of Donald Trump's press conference about the tragedy last night, and it was disgusting.
Oh, well, I was stopping right here. As soon as you said I'll watch some, but the fact that I got you here.
It was disgusting. First of all, our hearts go out to the victims' families, to the first responders. This is awful.
Bro, is that a green screen?
But what is also awful is to watch the President of the United States stand up at the White House and claim that it is women or black people or Latinos working at the FAA.
No, he said DEI. You made that very specific.
That caused this crash. This idea that by hiring non-white men, you are putting the nation's safety in jeopardy, or that non-white men caused this crash is...
No, not hiring people based on merit is what they're talking about. Dog, you are so disingenuous. It's pissing me off.
This crash is unconscionable. We need to get to the bottom of what happened. Nobody's going to know today what caused that crash. But what we absolutely know is that it is not women working at the FAA that caused that crash. What we definitely know, it is not black employees at the FAA that caused that crash. There are some true things. President Trump forced out of office the administrator of the FAA. He's been waging a regular assault on public employees since he came into office. He forced the entire Aviation Security Review Board, Advisory Board, to step down. We don't know whether those things had anything to do with this crash, but we should take the time to get to the facts. And everybody in this country should be outraged that Donald Trump is standing up on that podium lying to you, deliberately lying to you about what the cause was, and further using the White House as a means to try to divide us from each other. That performance was disgraceful, and every single senator and member of Congress should call him out for how disgraceful it was.
Dude. I mean, I really don't even know how to reply to this. This is a level of TDS that's like, I mean, it's monumental. This guy right here blatantly manipulated the fabric of the conversation that Donald Trump had in regards to this plane crash and just tried to make it seem like he attacked black people again. This is nothing but, bro, you're creating division, dog. This right. You know what? I ain't even looked at the comments. I promise you I haven't, but I promise you I don't follow you first time seeing, but I promise you getting cooked in the comments. Let's look. Let's see. Somebody says pretty disingenuous to say that this happened on his watch. He just took office over. He just took the office over about a week ago, for God's sake. Somebody else pointed, where and when did he say black or brown people? Exactly my response. How of a person do you have to be to mislead your followers like that? Here's the actual program he explicitly mentioned, and he says severe intellectual disability. Yeah, severe intellectual disability. I'm still, if I'm being honest, I'm still kind of on the fence about commenting on that particular category right now. But as I grow in my understanding, we'll get somewhere. Did they not lower the standards multiple times in order to increase diversity? Amen to that. And this is the result. You keep lowering the bar more and more and more and more and more. These people won't even know, you know what I'm saying? They won't have the knowledge, sufficient knowledge to be able to keep the ships floating properly, man. Instead, they're gonna keep running into roadblocks without the knowledge and create catastrophes that can cost people lives. Reporter, how did you come to the conclusion that DEI had something to do with the crash? I mean, we just looked at the aviation guy, you know, the FAA, you know, leader dude. What's his name? Hold on. Brand Mims, the deputy administrator. Yeah. Okay.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense. Okay, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't. We want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the highest level. When you have 60 planes coming in during a short period of time, and they're all coming in different directions, and you're dealing with very high-level computer work and very complex computers. And one of the other things I will tell you is that the systems that were built, I was going to rebuild the entire system, and then we had an election that didn't turn out the way it should have. But they didn't build the systems properly. They spent a lot of money renovating a system, spending much more money than they would have spent if they bought a new system for air traffic controllers, meaning the computerized systems. There are certain companies that do a very good job. They didn't use those companies. They used companies that should not have been doing it. No, I think it's very important to understand that for some jobs, and not only this, but air traffic controllers, they have to be at the highest level of genius. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You see, Trump has argued that previous administrations, definitely, they said they put might here, but I'm going to say definitely, have lowered standards for political and ideological reasons rather than safety, which could align with concerns about maintaining rigorous and merit-based hiring practices in aviation. His claim of previously raising standards for air traffic controllers during his first term might appeal to those who prioritize safety above all. The American safety should be the number one thing we prioritize. Shout out to JD Vance also having a statement on this and bringing us to the second half of this video, which is, it's heartbreaking, man.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership. I just want to reemphasize something the President said, and you've heard from the Secretary of Transportation and of Defense. There really was a whole of government response. We were all on the phone. We were all communicating yesterday, trying to get to the bottom of this immediately, but also try to communicate with the American people about what happened. Something the President said that I think bears reemphasizing, which is that when you don't have the best standards in who you're hiring, it means on the one hand, you're not getting the best people in government, but on the other hand, it puts stresses on the people who are already there. And I think that is a core part of what President Trump is going to bring and has already brought to Washington, D.C. is we want to hire the best people because we want the best people at air traffic control, and we want to make sure we have enough people at air traffic control who are actually competent to do the job. If you go back to just some of the headlines over the past 10 years, you have many hundreds of people suing the government because they would like to be air traffic controllers, but they were turned away because of the color of their skin. That policy ends under Donald Trump's leadership because safety is the first priority of our aviation industry. Thank you, Mr. President.
The very first thing that I wanted to do when I was covering this video was to talk about the whole DEI argument and how left-wing media is trying to make it seem like Donald Trump just came out of the blue with that statement saying that he blames DEI. It was important to me to make sure I show y'all the aviation guy, I guess his ad to try to recruit more people. It was important for me to show y'all this so that y'all know that it's not baseless. Trump is not just talking out the side of his neck as the Democrats would like to get you to believe. Now, he's asking the same exact question that we are, President Trump, that is. Ooh. This was said, this was posted at 3 in the morning. The airplane was on a perfect and routine line of approach to the airport. The helicopter was going straight at the airplane for an extended period of time. It is a clear night. The lights on the plane were blazing. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or turn? Why didn't the control tower tell the helicopter what to do instead of asking if they saw the plane? This is a bad situation that looks like it should have been prevented. Not good. Totally. Look at this right here. The Black Hawk helicopter was clearly trying to crash into multiple planes before its final impact. All right, so we're seeing right here, we've seen the first one. We go to the second one. Oh, wow. Makes a right move towards the third. Oh, wow. My fault, y'all. Obviously, y'all looking at it like me. And boom. That's where the collision happened. Yeah, I'm going to keep it real, y'all. Some just don't smell right about this now. The unfortunate part, as I mentioned. Flight attendants Ian Epstein, 53. Denasia Elder, 34, have been identified among the victims of the DC plane crash. Definitely want to say a prayer to them and their their families. Unfortunate, man, for sure. Couldn't imagine. They're also saying that youth ICE partners Angela Yang and Sean Kay were among the victims on that horrific DC plane crash. They were children. Wow. Obviously, I can't play that music. Nick Sorter posted, from everything he's heard, it sounds like there was an abnormally large number of children on board. Makes it so much more devastating. They had so much life ahead of them, for sure. Colin Rugg responded. This right here is just an unfortunate situation. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of it and understand what's fully going on. All I gotta say is, man, we gotta stay prayed up. And as the details roll out, I will be reporting on them. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You could be saving their life. Dang.